I am Justin Ho. Welcome to the wonderful, amazing audio commentary. This is the first time I've ever used visual effects. What I did is I filmed the leaf in front of a black screen and took the black out and replaced it with the trees and whatever. And the fire was basically really easy. I just went online, found stock footage of fire, and voila. Imported it in there, took the black out, and I have several layers of fire. Two layers of smoke, and 2 layers of fire.
And clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
That whole opening with the global warming thing, that was basically just just wanted something more different, just put a whole bunch of other disasters and stuff and mix it in. Alright, and then it starts off with the tapping. Okay, basically, why the hell they started out with the tapping, I didn't want it to start off with any music besides the, What a Wonderful World song and something different. Just tapping, and you'll know where the tapping's come from, and then boom, he's tapping. Okay, now what about the opening credits? It just pops in. You know, I purposely wanted it that way. Basically, another different way of showing credits. Now, the whole beginning is basically like a, I guess, montage of what's going to happen later on in a movie. You know, you see Jonathan Whitehouse's friend, he's mad, and you see cuts of him on the phone and cuts of the contact. It basically is nothing more than a, you know, showing what's going on. Basically, what's going to happen later on in the movie.
Hi, I'm Justin Lebowski. Now, today's topic is global warming and how it affects us around the world. As you all know, the infamous global warming theory is that the world is heated up because of our pollution. And since this is so controversial, everybody's been talking about it, I want to see what the American public really thinks about it.
Okay. Alright, project. Alright, what is it gonna be about? Global warming. Alright, so you're gonna need me to film? Okay.
Well, it's supposed to be like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but I'm going to be like all out and be like all insano. And there's going to be mad people even though I don't have to.
Alright, well sounds good, man.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that hallway documentary I did before. It's going to be a lot cooler. It's going to be all awesome.
Okay, so it's mostly gonna be interviews, I guess? Okay, sounds good to me. You know, I don't like interviews. Yeah, that's alright. No, don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah, so... Yeah. Alright, so... global warming sounds
And
good.
I experimented with a lot of stuff. I mean, the lighting definitely like took colors out. And in this shot, the inside of the camera. Technically, that really isn't the inside of the camera. It's the inside of a VCR, but you know, no one really knows.
So, tell me, what are your feelings on this whole global warming thing?
Oh, this is bright.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of...
Basically, this whole entire scene where he's trying to find out information from all these people just show how little people know. And I have to mention another thing about this scene. You probably wouldn't notice, so I'm gonna tell you. Obviously, I shot Jonathan separately from the people being interviewed, because when I shot all these people in this photography room, like Crystal right there, when I shot them in a photography room all separately, because I originally didn't know who I was going to use as the main character, and then I finally found out I was going to use John, because I had no choice, because John, he's always available, and it's great. So I shot him separately, and I shot him separately not in the photography room. He's not even in a photography room. I shot him separately in my computer room. If you've seen my other movie, Stirring Up Consciousness, you know, the room where Matt and John were fighting in. Yeah, I shot him in that room separately.
Please.
I was really when I was shooting John separately, I had to try to get the lighting right to make it look like he's in the photography room, and that was so hard
Please, just
because
something.
I went through various lighting things. I mean, but I finally came up with we'll just make a little dark, a little bright, and no one noticed. I mean, if you look hard, you probably could notice, but it's really something that, like, in the subconscious, you wouldn't notice because I would overlap his voice and stuff to make it seem like he was actually there, and then, the quick cuts back and forth. And, yeah, Jonathan is actually not in the photography room. He was in my computer room, and I shot him separately.
Anything else? Anything? No? Anything? I got you down? Thinking? Maybe? No, I guess not. I guess you don't have anything at all.
So yeah, did we get any good info?
No. You think we would get info in that school?
But we were there for 3 hours. We're bound to find something.
That doesn't mean.
I had this whole idea from the beginning
Dude,
to
are you
make
kidding me? We just spent
the
3
colors
hours of
like
life wasted for this stupid
very
interview?
basically wherever the light's shining, you see colors.
Oh,
Let's put it that way. And everything else is in black and
I
white,
didn't care.
and a lot of cinematically it represents the emotion of the movie. And then when the phone rings, the color comes back on, basically, symbolically telling you that there is hope for him. Hope is going to come. He will make this project.
Don't turn on the car. You turn on the car, it's going to emit CO2 in the air. That's very, very bad for the environment, man.
We meet at last.
So what the hell did you call me down here for?
I heard you were doing a project on a very controversial issue.
How'd you find out about that?
That is my business.
Dude, you're really starting to freak me out with all this dark stuff. Are you trying to, knock me out and, rape me or something?
Once again, symbolically to show that, he's mysterious at first. Oh, you don't even see his face, and he lifts it up, and the black and white goes out. No, it's him, I mean, there's a lot of color shifting on a lot of Mike's scenes. Practically all of his scenes, just to show the range of emotions and the range of
You'd be surprised how
mystery.
powerful NASA goes. For all we know, they can be making deals with aliens to take over the world. These papers are from them.
That's all the information that you'll need. It's small, but it'll do. As you can see, that's all the levels of carbon being put into the air and where it's coming from, the sense it's coming from. That second page you see is the effects it causes. Carbon being transmitted into the air, having the greenhouse effect gases swirling and swirling and swirling. Things start to dry out, and then world ablaze.
Where'd you get all this information?
I don't know, I just made up some of it. I got those pages off of Google and NASA.com. That's when I came up with those theories. It's gonna happen, you watch.
Okay. Dude, really, what the hell am I doing here?
There's some people I want you to talk to. Some people that may be able to help you out with what you're doing. Some, eccentric people.
So who's this contact guy?
Well, he's this guy that I kind of met. Well, he kind of contacted me, and he told me that he has a bunch of people for us to interview.
Alright, well that would help a lot for our project. We haven't been finding too much.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't noticed, John is in color, and Mike Palmer's character is in black and white. Basically, this project is John's, but Mike Palmer, he's just helping him. So John believes this project's gonna work. My Palma really technically doesn't have that much of a feeling. Really doesn't care that much. And here I did another experiment with the lighting and colors. They're in black and white and the walls are in color, symbolically to show emotion and stuff.
No, behind you. Yes. I'm in here. I'm in here.
In here?
In here.
Why is he in here?
This whole scene I had in my head when I first thought up on the project. Basically I was thinking like, who am I to use for this crazy person who's afraid of the sun? And then I thought of, oh, what the hell, Stan. He's perfect. And here, I was thinking, how the hell am I gonna light the inside of a closet? Technically, this isn't a closet. It's the laundry room. But you could think of it as whatever you want to. Let's say it's a closet or if it's a laundry room, whatever you want. And I was wondering, how am I gonna light that? And I have this halogen light. So we put the halogen light and shine it through the door. The door has those, you know, the blind type of things. It created this amazing look, cinematography, this look, and I was able to take all the color out and only have the light being color. It just came out so good. I love this scene. It's hilarious, it's mystical, it's crazy, and the random cuts with the video. You know, cuts to the sun rising and stuff whenever he's talking, basically. Because once again, this is supposed to be a spoof on a documentary. Like a spoof on it, you know, a documentary that people are talking and they cut to stuff. So it's just a spoof, you know, he's talking and it cuts to all the different things. And once again, everything it says is factual.
And I see the horror. We are blinded by the horrible demise of which the sun brings. We fail to see the truth of our own demise.
Have you ever been outside?
Yeah, I've been outside. Once or twice, I don't remember. But it's usually to get the mail. Throw out the garbage. Something like that. I've experienced the torment of the sun. The ultraviolet rays that burn the skin and cause wrinkling. It's horrible. There's no way to get away from the sun. Even on cloudy days, the ultraviolet rays shine right through. You guys think I'm crazy. But see, here's what happens. There are these chemicals in various products such as hairspray and such, that when we use them, it goes up into the atmosphere.
And here he starts talking about ozone layer depletion and stuff like that, and I pop in some corny cartoonish pictures of the ozone layer and stuff, once again to make fun of the documentary.
A hole in the ozone layer right above Antarctica. But we fixed that. Because we're kick-ass.
Do you know anything else?
Yeah. I know some other stuff. Such as the fact that most children rack up 50 to 80% of their full life's sun exposure before the age of 18. UVA, which passes through the atmosphere easily.
I had a lot of fun shooting this. I mean, it was so hard to get everybody together to shoot this. I mean, it was so darn hard.
Die from melanoma.
My goodness, it was really hard.
Then
I
there's
mean, I
also
was really, I mean, I was gonna shoot this on a Wednesday, but it rained on Wednesday.
there are also
Couldn't do that.
games.
So then I
They
had to
got
shoot it on a
Sundays.
Friday, and you know, it was hard getting people. It's really hard, but I got them together. And
But that's the truth. I have to take out the trash.
now you're probably wondering, why did I put the
Let's go.
Mrs. Robinson song in here? Does it symbolically mean anything? No, not really. It doesn't. The lighting represents a lot of symbolism in this movie, but this song, no,
Dude,
really.
this guy's crazy.
I know he's knocking fucks.
I just think it went perfectly with it.
Well played, sir.
I didn't use as much reflection shots in this movie as I did with a lot of my other movies.
In school, I learned that greenhouse gases are released by activities such as burning fossil fuels, land clearing, and agriculture.
This whole entire scene with the notebook pages flipping and stuff like that, basically,
Added smaller but
I
non-legible.
came up with a while ago. I always wanted to shoot something like this, but I never knew how to. I was wondering, like, how am I gonna do this? Then I realized I
In
could do blue screen,
2002,
and voila.
about
And if
40
you look,
percent
you
of
could
the
actually
US
see a little
covered
bit of
dioxide
blue screen
emissions stem from
glitches,
the
like
burning
Jonathan's
fossil fuels
hands started to
for
get
the
a little
purpose of
translucent
electricity
at certain
generation.
points, but I couldn't
Coal
help
accounts for
that.
93% of the
But yeah,
emissions from
beautiful blue
the
screen.
electric utility industry.
Except with the leaf, when I shot the leaf
So
in the
that
beginning,
basically means
that was
that
a
I'm not gonna
black
get
screen.
any chapstick anymore.
It's so crazy, but you know, that's I don't know what to say because it's just crazy. Because then, like with the cars, and something comes out. You know, all the stuff that comes out is just crazy. All the fumes from the boom. Like you know how it goes boom.
Anyways, basically I wanted all the characters in this little montage here. I wanted all of them to be crazy. All of them to be these eccentric people, because once again, the contact goes, I got you some eccentric people, and I wanted them all to be eccentric. Very, very eccentric. Well, basically all the characters, very strange. Even in the background, like I'll have signs up or something. That'll make the character strange. This kid, his shirt says, they'll make a movie about me someday, yeah, basically.
Cut down trees, like there's less oxygen, so when the CO2 builds up, it causes global warming.
Could you please sit up so we can actually do this interview?
You know what I think about global warming? That it'll affect our children. I'm gonna ask my friends here what they
I mean, she has a small part in this movie, but my goodness, I wish I could have given her a bigger part. I really do. I really wish I could have given her, because she is an excellent actor. I mean, she wants to be an actor when she gets older. That's what she wants to do. And she is really, she reminds me of like Dakota Fanning. That's why I think she was the best actor. And she's an excellent actor.
What's wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
While we're here, I guess I'll just talk to you about global warming. I was attracted to that pretty plant over there. It has green leaves on it. And pretty soon, if global warming keeps on happening, they're going to turn black. Yeah, honestly, come on. What does that? I'm so scared.
Well, methane tracks in a lot of heat, so that's another reason why it could be.
John Stampone. Oh, I gotta tell you, I made so many movies with John Stampone in the past. There have been so many movies I've done with. I mean, me and him, we go back way to days when I first started making movies, and I was able to get him in this one talking about methane, which is actually all true. Methane does hold in more heat than carbon dioxide.
Let's talk about cows. all day and they stand around and eat grass and fart. Gross.
Look, notice
They
the poster behind this character.
when
It
they
says
fart,
Scarface.
they produce methane,
Basically, she
and
had that in her room. I didn't put it there.
contain
That's the
more
funny
heat
thing. She
than
had
carbon
that poster in
dioxide,
her room.
and that's bad for the environment.
So,
Because
it just went perfect.
and
Something funny.
again about cows, like they fart and just stand there all day. All day.
No, the flip. Oh, there's my dog, Scout. Yeah. I never really used him in much of my movies. Just decided this one. Might as well use him. Yeah. This character, she was supposed to play a depressed person. A depressed emo person. But she couldn't do it. So I basically made her become a cheerleader, which she once was.
Even though I have no idea what that means, but it's better than oil.
Sounds about right.
And of course, the last character. The only one that sounds normal.
Not too good. I gotta say, I think I can do a little bit on my own. So, I don't think I'm gonna be needing your help.
Once again, you hear the voice come in
So
before
what do you
the
say? You don't need me anymore?
image comes in. You know, just to make it a little more interesting instead of normal. And of course, as you notice, the color got to black and white because the contact, Mike's character, is getting angry. So everything's going black and white whenever you see him. But he did such a good job. He's perfect. He is perfect for this character. I mean, I love when I get the perfect cast, and I think this movie had the perfect, very perfect cast. Basically, you could have the best cinematography, the best everything, but acting could really help. Depend on the story as well. I mean, you could be a really good director but have crappy acting and still do a good movie, but acting still has a big portion to make it more convincing than usual. Because what I can't stand is having scripted, like having things sound scripted. Like, you know, like I have information on global warming. I don't know how to do it, but you know how things sound scripted. I want it all to seem like they're actually saying it. So sometimes I would have them read out the line, and I'd say, just improvise whatever you want to it.
Okay. Well, I hope these people aren't cracked out.
Don't worry.
Okay, then. So this is your last chance, okay? These people are crazy, just like the last people. I might come back here, okay?
Okay.
If you asked me to name the 3 scariest threats of the human race, they'd probably be nuclear war, Windows, and global warming. The truth of the horror is
This opening to this character, I want it to be, you know, different. You have the focus shifting of all the. Basically, this is Ashley Smith, and she could actually do the Rubik's Cube, so I decided a while back, you know, why don't I have her in my movie? I'll have her do the Rubik's Cube while she's explaining about global warming. So it took her 3 minutes to complete this Rubik's Cube. Now obviously watching her finish the Rubik's Cube in 3 minutes would be very, very boring, so I put some cuts in the beginning of it to, you know, really get a little more interesting. Like, you know, that shot you saw with the focus shifting, and then Jonathan Whitehouse mixing up the Rubik's Cube, and a shot of her dog, just all as an opening to represent her character. Like, she's normal, basically. I don't know. I don't know, whatever you want to think, because anybody could think of anything, basically. Well, this shot, she's doing the Rubik's Cube, in the background, Jonathan's out of focus. I tried to make as simply shot as possible. If you've seen Stirring of Consciousness, it was very handheld, very rough. And there's a lot of cuts in that movie. This one, I tried to do little, like, not that little amount of cuts, but, you know, try to limit my cuts. Do things very straightforward and very simple shots. Basically what she was doing, she was absolutely reading off of something. We did 3 takes of her reading off of it. I didn't like the first 2, it sounded too scripted, so I said, just talk like yourself. And she
suffer the
did it.
consequence. And I mean, the polar bears aren't just jumping into the water, they're drowning, and that's not cool.
Tell me what you think about global warming.
It's happening? I mean, you're asking such a silly question to a child of two hippies, so obviously it's going on. My family's doing their part to try to stop global warming.
Like what?
Here we have Katie Arzik. She didn't read off of anything. She's just good at improvising, so I just had her just tell me your thoughts, literally. And of course, we gave her information to say we went on the internet and printed out some information. So just mention this and stuff like that.
Water levels are rising, and it's like, everyone's gonna drown. That's the point. Everyone's gonna drown. That's why we have to stop global warming. Everyone's gonna drown, and Manhattan's gonna flood. I mean, it'll take away all the garbage, but still not very good. Florida will get rid of all the old people out of there. But still, we need to save the earth and keep our shorelines the same way it is. It's like an ice cream. You know, when you're eating it on a hot summer day, and it's dripping down your hand, and you don't really get to eat all of it because it's melting. And then your soul drowns. I don't know if that relates, but I think it relates to me, yeah. So I get very sad when my ice cream melts. Polar bears get really sad too because they can't find any more ice because everything is melting and then they're drowning. I'm serious. We're all gonna die.
Anything else about global warming?
Let's talk about Arctic animals. There's polar bears and penguins. All the polar bears and the penguins are going to become extinct, and you're going to all regret it because they're such beautiful animals. And then the polar bears are going to be roaming the streets looking for food. Then you're going to all die.
And this person here, she is obsessed with animals. She asked me, "Can I talk about animals?" So I said, "Okay, go ahead." And she just talked about animals. All the stock footage I got from Planet Earth. Planet Earth. You know, it's a Discovery Channel, an 11-part miniseries, and it is the coolest miniseries ever. I mean, they show the coolest things in this show, and it's all in high definition too. So I got all this footage from Planet Earth. So I got to say thank you, Discovery Channel, for letting me get all this footage.
Why should we?
And here we go. Notice how Mike Palmer, he's in black and white, and John's in color. Basically, just to show that, you know, Jonathan's character, he believes in this project. You know, he believes in the contact. He knows the contact is helping him and stuff like that.
Don't think me. I'm just glad to get out of there.
Mike, he's like, oh, he's all pissed off, so he's in black and white. You know, he's not seeing the true color
Why I bought those chairs?
of the. Yeah, so he's in black and white. And basically this whole ending with the cuts from Jonathan and Mike Tomkowitz walking to the car and Jonathan and Mike Palmer arguing. Basically, I wanted this to be like a non-linear storytelling right here, basically, where it just cuts back and forth between John and Mike Tomkowitz and John and Mike Palmer arguing, just instead of just showing one after the other, basically. You know, to have like cuts makes it more interesting, more yeah, instead of the boring usual okay, this and that. And you really never find out who the contact's name is. He's just known as the contact in this movie. That's it. And Mike Tomkowitz did a beautiful job. When we shot this, he was actually leaving. He actually left when we shot this.
Why would he ask me? Why would you ask me to do this interview?
You've been interviewing for 2 weeks. You could have at least figured out something by now. So, who are you?
I'm your contact.
Look, first things first.
Here we have Mike Palmer saying his last things, what he thinks about global warming. Basically, Jonathan Whitehouse's character got what he wanted. A hefty amount of information from good old Mike Palmer. Basically, this is supposed to represent like the beginning of the movie. Started out with the screen, and everything was black, and then the black faded in. You notice there's a screen of a camera. Now it's a screen of a camera, and everything's fading black except for the LCD screen. Kind of like the opposite. Like the film opened, that's closing again with the same exact effect and shot. I mean, this was a fun movie to make, I gotta say. And it took me a long time. I would sit at a computer for 6 hours editing. I think I sat like longer than 6 hours editing at times. And once again, this whole movie, this very experimental. First time I experimented with the lighting, how I could change. Experimented with the visual effects, what I could do. And it's the first movie I did my own score for. If none of you noticed, the score, the original, not the records, the music, the background, the score. I did the score. The first movie I did. I mean, I did the score for my friend Matt Hahn's movie, Unseen Justice, which is an excellent movie. I did the score for his movie, and this one I was going to use a lot of Thomas Newman scores for it. But I thought to myself, why don't I try just making my own score for this for once? I did it for Matt's movie, might as well do it to mine's, right? So I made my all original music I made up for my score. Sat at the piano for 3 hours and played the piano part and played the strings part. And it's not a piano, it's a keyboard. I have a keyboard. So basically, I used my own score for this movie. Basically, and credits are ending. Gotta say one thing though, Artie's actually making the DVD menus for this movie. I'm just gonna continue talking. This movie was it was hard to make but fun to shoot, which is usually for every movie. Are you still listening? Dude, if you're still listening, you gotta be crazy, okay? It's over. It's over. The commentary is over. Quit listening.